Hey y'all, Claudia with Krazy Studios. So I want to talk to you guys about something that, I don't know, might be a little bit more serious than I usually do. I'm usually coming on here, I'm all happy and bubbly, and we're going to have fun, and hopefully I'm going to make you smile or make you laugh. I can't guarantee that's going to happen today, but there's something I want to talk to you guys about that I think is kind of important. And so I hope you'll bear with me. If you're not interested, move on to the next video. Hopefully that one will be more fun. If you are interested, thanks for staying and hanging out with me, and I think it's going to be an important topic that we need to talk about. Or at least some of you need this conversation. Some of you, you're all set in your art and your style and your plan and you're just confident, and that's awesome sauce and yay for you. For those of you who aren't necessarily so confident in your art or where it comes from, stick around because I might have something that helps. I was working on a prompt today for Journaling Crazy Island Style, and I am teaching the lesson, happens to fall on Mother's Day. And of course that leads me to thinking about my mom, and my mom and I had a fantastic relationship until my mid-30s, and then it was very turbulent is the nicest way I can put it, and it was not always very nice. And our relationship never went back to the way that it was before, to that super close relationship, which I'm sorry for because that was awesome, and I love being best friends with my mom. But our relationship was very turbulent for the last few years of her life. And then if you suffer from triggers, just jumping in here, please, maybe, I don't know, skip ahead. But because I don't want to trigger anybody. But just after Thanksgiving, a few days after Thanksgiving, 2 years ago, my mom committed suicide. And it was really traumatic. Really, really traumatic. And of course you deal with everything that everybody goes through when there's a suicide in the family. You know, questions and anger and disbelief and not understanding what's happening and not understanding why or how someone could leave everybody that loves them behind and do that to them, and you know, not knowing what put somebody in that position and to feel that way. And it's so confusing and it's so horrible and it's so devastating and shocking and incredibly bad. Incredibly bad. So I know how I deal with things, and that I'm pretty doggone good at avoidance therapy. So I try to avoid things that make me sad, like the plague. I don't go to funerals unless I really love you, because I don't even have to know you. I'm a sympathetic crier. If you cry, I will cry with you. It's very emotional for me. It's very hard on me. I don't like to watch sad movies that make me cry. It took forever for my daughter to get me to watch The Fault in Our Stars, and I cried for like 45 minutes. It was just horrible. Yeah, great movie. I don't like it. So I know that I avoid feeling all the feelings. I know that I have all the feelings. I have all the feelings. I'm really good with anger, and I'm really good with disbelief, and I'm really good with protectiveness, but I'm not always so good with the feelings of sadness and despair. I don't want to feel that stuff, so I do definitely avoid it. So I knew that this prompt was coming, and I knew that I had volunteered to teach the lesson, and I knew that I had this grand plan that I was gonna dig down deep and get through some deep, dark emotions and get it all out in my art journal. It didn't happen. That's not how it happened. As this week is coming up soon, and I started planning for this page, it's just not how it came together. I wanted nothing to deal with the deep, dark, despair type emotions and the anger and the hurt. I didn't want any of that. I didn't even want to deal with it. I don't want to paint it. I did not want to art journal it. So I know this about me. I know this about me, and it's something that I accepted a long time ago. But I'll tell you, a long time ago, before I accepted this about myself and I was just getting into art journaling, I always wondered, gosh darn it, does that just make my art shallow? Is my art shallow? because I want to create art from a place of joy and happiness, and I want to create pretty pages, and I want to create colorful pages, and I want, you know, pink and teal and bright green, and I want all these really fun, vibrant colors in my art journal. And I don't get really deep and dark in my journaling. Does that make my art shallow? So, you know, I didn't really care, to be honest. I love art journaling. I love what I'm doing. I love what I'm making. So it doesn't really matter if my art is shallow. But it just made me think about it. And, you know, today, it like dawned on me as I was chat messaging on Facebook with Gina and Peta, and I made this statement, and then I put it on my Facebook because I'm looking at my phone, I'm sorry. I put it on my Facebook because it was just kind of profound to me. Like, it really struck with me and explained how I feel in words that make sense to others, instead of I just don't like pain and I only want to paint from joy. So this is what I had said, and it's why I don't create, and I don't want to create. I go into an uncreative hole and hide when I'm going through something that's deep, emotionally painful, dealing with family issues, dealing with fear, stress, anything like that. I don't create at that time. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen for me. So why don't I create when I'm sad or upset? So this is what I wrote, and then it was like, oh my gosh, the light bulb went off. This is exactly it. I want to create after the storm and paint the rainbow. So what does that mean? That means that I want to weather the storm with my family, my support, my little unit that helps me get through things, friends, family, those things. And when the storm is over, I want to create in the joy afterwards. That's how I create. That's where it comes from inside of me. And that's kind of deep too, right? That's not shallow. That's totally reasonable. And granted, I had accepted this of myself a long time ago, that I don't create when I'm sad, and I gave up on trying because it doesn't feel right, and it doesn't happen, and it doesn't ever look like I want it to. It just doesn't work for me. That being said, I know that it works for so many others, and I see this, and I see people who work and create through their pain, whatever their circumstances that they're going through, and it helps them. And it helps them heal, it helps them deal with it. And I'm so impressed by that. I think that's amazing. And if that's how you create, I think that's incredible. And I love the fact that you have art as a coping mechanism to help through that thing. You know, whatever it may be, I'm glad that there's, you know, that art is a coping mechanism for you. But for those of you who don't create when you're in pain, emotionally or whatever. Now, if I'm in physical pain, I'll still create through that. It's different for me. It's the emotional stuff that I don't want to put down on paper. And maybe it's because I don't want the reminder later when I'm going through my journal. Other people find those things really healing for them. So I'm not saying one way is right and one way is not. I'm just saying that if you are one of those who does like to create in the joyful moments, that's okay too, and that doesn't make your art shallow. My art is not shallow. Is it pretty? Yes. Could some people consider it shallow? Of course. Do I care? Of course not. Because it's my art, and it matters most to me, and then secondarily to whoever views it and loves it. If it's important to you, to them, that is what matters to me. But first and foremost, my art is for me. So I create things that my husband doesn't like, and that's okay too, because it's not for him. If he likes it, great. And he thinks I'm talented, but I don't always make the stuff that he thinks is nice. And that doesn't matter either, and we're both okay with that. And I'm okay with you liking some of my art and not all of it, and we should all be that way with everybody. Certain pieces of artwork are definitely going to resonate with some people and not others, but I just feel like it gave me like an insight into why I don't create when I'm sad or when I'm emotionally damaged or emotionally hurt for the moment. It really explained that to me, and it was just like, it was kind of big, and I put it on Facebook, and a few people responded, and some people responded that they find that creating during those times is healing for them, and it helps them get through it. That is incredible. It's a wonderful thing. I also heard back from others that they feel the same way, and that they have a hard time creating during those emotions or through those emotions, but once that storm is past, then they can deal with it. Letha, one of my friends, said that she wanted to make a SmackDown journal, like Gina Aarons here on YouTube is doing SmackDown journal pages, and they're incredible and it's wonderful. Letha was saying on there that she had difficulty. She could write down all her feelings, but she had to wait a couple of days to process those feelings and sort through them before she could paint over them. I think that's amazing. She said that that's how she is, therefore, you know, she has a hard time doing it. But then again, if that's your process, that's fantastic. You know your process, and work within what works for you. I've had others who said that they too don't want to create when they're sad, and they want to create when they're happy, and that's the only time that, you know, the creativity, it flows, the art flows from you, is whenever you're in a happier state. So I just really wanted to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit about that. My page for Journaling Crazy Island Style, and you guys can't see it yet, I'm sorry. It is a joyful page, it's a celebration page, and it took me getting through a lot of emotions to get to that joyful place where I could make that page, because I don't know what it would have been if I hadn't worked through some stuff. Because I can't create in that state of mind. I can't do it. So as I was talking about it, like, you know, like I said, I know that that's how I am. I've been like that for forever. Once I got past wanting to be like everybody else and being okay with just being me, whether it was right or wrong, because there really is no right or wrong in art, and I could just do what felt good to me and what poured out of me onto the page or onto the canvas. As soon as I allowed myself the freedom to do that, it was great. You know, I felt good about what I was doing. But that didn't mean that I had a really good way of expressing it until I made that statement about not wanting to create in the storm, but I'm wanting to paint the rainbow after, the happy part, the joy. And oh, it was just kind of profound to me. And I know that's like, I don't ever make quotes, so I'm keeping that one. I'm going to put it somewhere. In an art journal, on a stamp, I don't know, but it's going somewhere. But it just led me to think that how many more of you guys are out there who are a little earlier in your art journey, and you haven't come to accept of yourself when you create, or why you create, or feeling like your art isn't artistic enough or artsy enough because you don't paint from pain. Well, me neither. So we'll be in a tribe together of folks who, you know, who can't create through pain. And everybody else who can, oh, I kind of wish I could, because it seems like it would be so amazing to have an outlet like that to really get out your feelings, but I just have a really hard time doing that. It doesn't work for me. So for those of you who do create through your pain and you do work your stuff out, gosh, good on you. Good on you. But for those of you who can't, that's okay too. And it doesn't mean that your art is anything less than the artwork of those who can create through their pain. No, I do create through physical pain. I do find that to not be something that impedes me, because it's not in my thoughts and in my emotions. It's just physical pain, which I have pretty much every day. So gosh, if I couldn't create through physical pain, that would be terrible, because, you know, it's a daily occurrence. And I can deal with like Gina's SmackDown pages, because in my mind those kind of focus more on our inner critic and dang it, I want to smack that down like hard all the time. So that is like empowering to me. I feel like the Smackdown journal pages are like that. They're empowering versus having to deal with something that's making me sad. So if you see my art journal pages, you see my artwork, and it's all bright, and there's a lot of pink and teal and turquoise and happy-go-lucky stuff going on, just know that it's because I'm painting from joy, and sometimes from the other side of the storm, because I go through the same stuff that everybody else does. I am blessed to have a fantastic family, to have a wonderful husband and great kids, but we still go through whatever families go through. I am very blessed. I'll admit that I am blessed to have a circle of happiness surrounding me with my family. For the most part, things are pretty good. Life is good. And part of that is the fact that I like to look on the bright side. So I am definitely the glass is half full kind of girl, and I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to smile. I want to feel good, and I want those around me to feel the same way. So that's what I just, you know, just leaches out of me to everywhere, is that I just want people to be happy and to feel good, and, you know, I'll give you a big fat hug if you're having a bad day to help you feel just a teeny tiny little bit better. That's me. That's the way I function. So, okay, so this is getting really long. I just wanted to come on here and share with you, because if I was feeling like that when I was newer to art journaling, about not being confident because I didn't journal from that deep, dark, you know, soulful place, then my art wasn't truly art. Other people might feel like that too, and with that statement that I made about the storm and the rainbow, I just felt like it gave a really, finally I have something that gives a visual idea of how I feel, and it just made sense to me. So I wanted to share that with you guys and reassure you, because we all might come from a different place and approach our art in a different way, and it's all right. It's all deep. It's all of value. It all matters. It all matters. So I just wanted to tell you guys that, talk to you just a little bit, and let you know if you're in that place that I was before, and for some reason you feel like your stuff wasn't good enough because either you didn't paint pretty happy pages like everybody around you is, or you didn't paint the deep emotional pages like you see other artists doing and that you want to do. Either way, it's okay. Paint from what comes from within you. Paint from the best place that you have. Paint from your soul. And whether that comes out deep and dark, or it comes out bright and happy, it's all good, and it's all worth it, and it's all of value, and you have value, your art has value, and that's all that really matters. The fact that you're creating is what matters. Even if you're not creating the art that you love yet because you don't know how and you need to practice and gain those skills, keep going, keep doing it. Oh, I can't tell you how much crap art I made whenever I was getting going into this. Crap art, I admit it. But every single piece of crap art had value because it was a stepping stone to getting to where I am today. And where I am now is a stepping stone to where I'll be in 2 years. So every single piece of artwork that you make is worth it and has value. And even if you hate it later and paint over it, it still had value when you made it. So whatever you do, just don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything stop you, and don't let anything make you feel bad about yourself or about your art. For whatever reason it may be, it has value, it's important, and it's awesome that you're creating, period. It is awesome that you are creating. So that's it. That's all I got to say. I wouldn't call it a rant, just a share from my heart to you. And thank you guys all so much for being a part of this journey with me. I love sharing with you guys. I have so much fun hanging out with you. If you have comments about this, if you want to share your art style and how you feel about this, do you paint from joy or do you paint from pain, or can you paint from both? Many people can paint from both places and find fulfillment from both. So if you do, oh, please share. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this down in the comments below. Please hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss anything. And just again, thank you guys so much for being here with me, and I do appreciate every single one of you. I love you all. And that's all I got. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now.